Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Good Guys show special edition show coverage of the 152nd Kentucky Derby. That's right. Um, that's right. The fashion, the culture, the experience, the food, the celebrities, the atmosphere. It's got it all. And good guy and I'm Jack Gerke, your host, in for Blake Gerke. He is taking the week off for Good Guy Sports. He will be with you. He will be with you on our show next week to talk Stanley Cup playoff hockey and NBA playoffs basketball coverage. But right now, we're going to be focusing on what is the biggest of what people call it the biggest horse racing event calendar for the entire year, if not season, on the on the calendar. So they call it the Super Bowl of horse racing for a reason. It is just that, and with that, we are going to talk about the different contestants and horses and who we have winning it all, and who's going to be winning, who's going to be going to the winning circle with the triple crown with the Run of the Roses, and to see who will be coming on top. And as where things stand right now, so the first thing off, as for where things stand, as for where as for where things stand right now, Renegade is currently the 4-1 favorite to win the Derby, but there are some other horses that are in that list, and such as Alabes and Romantu, Limites, Right the Party, Commitment at 6, Danny Unborn at 7. Uh, um,
So Jack,
so yes,
right the party has been scratched.
right. Thanks, Mike, for the update and heads up. But this is like old news stuff. But at least where things stand right now. So I wish I had more a deep dive of where horses are scratched or not scratched. But But right now, as for where things stand right now, you have Ponita, a Bob Baffert horse who has Bob Baffert, by the way, the Hall of Fame trainer who has yet to go back in the he has yet to go back in the winning circle to finally win a derby, which is something that he has been hoping for the last few tries that he's had in this stage. But I'd be looking that's one of the things I would be looking into heading into to the Oaks tonight and the Derby this Saturday of first Saturday in May, and then for me, if you're looking at a long shot, I'll be looking at Cornelia Ado, Robest, Onea, and the Great White, who who has happened to be one of the Japan run horses since Forever Young was happened to be one of them who came so close at one of the derbies a couple of years ago, and so that's something that I would be looking forward to. It now it may not happen this year, but at some point in the future, it could happen. But I don't see it happening this year. But in the near future, you could very well see a Japan born horse run and, and win the Derby for one of these years. If probably not this year, but for right now, as for things stand, we'll pick a winner a little later in the show. But I think for right now, we know about commitment and and emerging. And if you want to take a look at the competitors in this race, where you've mentioned about where you have mentioned about Right the Party, which if you want to know more about him, Mike, that his owner is Chester Broman
hmm
Sr., trainer is Kevin Mc, McPeak, jockey is Chris Elliott, and it is the one thing you should be looking into, and one of the Japan run horses, as I mentioned earlier, one of the Japan breed horses yet to win the Derby, but it could happen. Like I said, it could happen in the future, but not this year. But Mike, great to have you on Derby Day, the most
Yeah.
exciting sports calendar event of the year. I got
Mostly.
to. That's right. That's right. That's right. Um, but I got to add. But I got to ask you: is there something that you were looking forward to for tonight in the Kentucky Oats, and in the first Saturday of May, heading into the Kentucky Derby this past Saturday? As we welcome BLM, we're on on the show with us. So great to have you on. I hope you can hear us, but I got to ask you: is there anything you were looking forward to for the Derby um, this weekend?
Good luck, Jackson.
Yeah. No, I
Good
have
luck,
not.
right? That's
I
the
have.
horse. Good luck.
Yeah, I have not handicapped the Phillies for tonight, but I am looking forward to tomorrow to see the winners. I'm actually watching a couple horses, but you had mentioned a Japanese horse. A long shot to watch would
Hmm.
be Dan and Bourbon. He
Mm.
is he's in the seventh pole position. He has run 10 furlong races in the past and has won. He just hasn't run a whole lot of races. But he would be a long shot to watch for. But I've got two other horses I'll share with you later on who I think are going to take the roses.
Am I crazy that good isn't good luck a horse? Am I saying that right?
Well, I'm sure it is. Not in the Derby.
Not in the Derby? No, good luck. I read an article. I thought his name was Good Luck or God, maybe it's Long Shot, Mike. Maybe that's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I mean, the other two scratches were Silent Tactic and Full Effort.
And what do you mean by scratch? What does that mean? They
They're
injured?
they just the owner pulled them out of the race.
Did they fill those spots with two other horses?
They filled them up with three other horses.
Got it. Okay.
The interesting thing when they do that is everybody else moves up in the pole position,
Mhm.
and the replacements are moved in the back. And so that's going to have some impact
What do you mean by
on
that, Mike? Not literally behind the other horses,
not
right?
behind, but on the outside. They're going to be running on the outside. So there's a couple
Who's
things. Yeah, go ahead.
no, no, you go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a couple things that makes the Derby special. One is the size of the field. You know, no other horse race has 20 horses. And so if you're close, you have a pole position of 1 through 4, you're going to be really close to the rails. And you could get stuck on the rail in a whole lot of
You don't
traffic.
want one, right?
You don't want
One's like the
that.
worst spot you can get
Yeah. And that's Renegade spot. No horse.
it.
It's been 40 years since a horse was in the first pole position and won the Kentucky
Wow.
Derby. And
Which
Renegade,
is
the
interesting
favorite.
because it's the shortest distance, right? So it
Well,
makes it kind of
it is. But if you don't, you could very easily get caught on the rail.
Mike, who's in Jackson? Who's two? Who's in the two hole? That's what the horse I'm thinking about.
That's Albus.
Oh
Let's
no,
see,
shoot. Okay.
Albus,
He's a
Renegade
50. Yeah, he's a
in
50
the Powder
51.
Mill. But if
He's
you're,
a
but yeah, sorry. But if but you mentioned the long shot. Well, I'm looking at the I am looking at the leaderboard at the Derby for the amount of horses that they're racing, and I'm seeing no long 80 long shot. The last time we had that, I'm sure you all remember, where Rick Strike won it in unpredictable, dramatic fashion by the last nose and the last leg of the race back in 2022. Now I don't think we're going to have that kind of Derby, but you never know what's going to happen. But that long shot horse this year is Cormier d'Or, the 50-1 odds, along with Robust and Aurea, and and then the second longest shot, Great White, which is also have to be one of them, is also one of the horses. But also if you want to know more about the horses, we're so happy. One of the contenders in this Derby, he won the Santa Ana Derby this year,
Hmm.
out there in California, and then you have Further Aldo, although he is scratched, like Mike said. He won the Bluegrass Stakes, and
Now,
then
Further Ado is still in the Kentucky Derby.
right, Further
He's
Ado,
still running. He's still running.
yes, Further Ado is running. He's in the 18. He is he
What's
is
what's
the
the
number
what's
18.
the
Yes.
contention about Further Ado? That's another one of my favorites. Why do we think that Further Ado is not going to run? Thinking about scratching him too?
Well, Further
No,
Ado
Further Ado is definitely running.
Okay.
is trained by Brad Cox, and from what I know, he won by 11th ranks, finishing in 1 hour and 49
1
seconds
minute.
and 1 minute and 49 seconds and 58
Yeah, ask you guys
through
this.
100 points qualifying. Yes.
Yeah, he run the
Yeah,
blue.
guys,
He ran away. He smoked the field in the Bluegrass Stakes, winning by 11 lengths.
wow.
But
Wow.
there's only
Is
seven
there a
horses.
jockey?
Yeah,
Okay. Is
the-
there a jockey that's over 60 in this race?
Yes.
Did I hear that right?
Yeah, Mike Smith. He's running on So Happy.
Wow. That's okay. That's the horse. What position? What pole? That's the one I was thinking about. So happy.
So Happy is in the 8th position.
8th position.
But
Okay.
he's actually going to be running in the 7th position because Right the Party was scratched and he was in the 5th pole position. So he's going to be moving up.
What great names. These
Yeah.
names are fantastic.
Yeah, so Happy
Right,
won.
Mark.
He won the Santa Ana Derby, like Jack was saying. He won it by 2 3/4 lengths.
Yeah, and then also, guys, you have
He-
emerging market in the 15th spot, and then and 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 then the Puma, which is in the 9th spot. So those last race winners, Puma won $4,000 in the Tampa Bay Derby, which is by far one of the most wins of the for the entire on tour horsing racing season. So I say emerging market, the winner of the Louisiana Derby, coming off great wins earlier this season, now has a shot of what I would call the most predictable shot of winning the Roses in the Kentucky Derby, which is a whole never task, but it's definitely going to be one of those biggest races tests that everybody has yet to see. Now I have yet to see. Now it's yet to be determined on how this race is going to play out come Saturday evening post time. But any of those horses that I've mentioned, including the ones like the long shots out there, including one of the co-favorites, definitely has one of those noses and strengths and lead changes that can possibly come down the stretch to the final leg and the final stretch for whatever. But I don't know about who's going to win the race, but I can tell you that this Derby is going to come down to who has the final stretch and leg of that horse is probably going to win the Derby, because that's usually how it comes down to for this for this amount of track that's spread out at Churchill Downs. It's definitely going to. I do believe it's going to come down to that. So I think whoever wins the
Jackson?
Derby in the last track in the last leg down the stretch, whoever has the nose popped out comes to the finish line first will win the race.
That's usually how it works. And I'm gonna tell you what
Right.
else, guys. I heard dry and cold, and just like a car needs cold air to run well, I heard these horses are no different. They like it cold. They run fast in the cold, and they like it dry. And it's going to be dry and cold. It could be a fast time. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's a pretty fast field. Um, as long as the rain holds out, and it looks like it does, there's a slight chance of rain. If it is raining, I would got to watch that Dan and Bourbon, that horse from Japan. He likes to run in the mud.
And didn't it pour last year? Didn't it just absolutely pour last year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It did, as a matter of fact. And one of the races before it was Leon Derby last year, if I can remember, actually got postponed or pushed back to a later hour. So there was a bit of a delay for one of the grass races leading up to the Derby. So it can happen. It's just one of those things that they had to plan ahead and plan out to know what's safe and right for the horses and for the fans, to know what's best for them
Give
for
me
the
this.
churchill downs. That's
Got
usually
a
how it
question.
worked out in a to point out for the events in weather situations like this.
What's the youngest horse and what's the oldest horse in the Derby this year?
They're all 3-year-olds.
All 3 year olds. No way.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's always
Now,
all 3-year-olds.
is it just like dogs? They're all 21. You add
Yeah.
seven to age. They're all
Yeah,
21.
race horses all have the same birthday. I
That's
mean,
That's
crazy.
crazy.
yeah, I mean, officially, they all have the same birthday.
What do you wait? Hold on. What do you mean by that? Explain that.
Well, they're all counted as 3-year-olds. I forget what the cutoff is, but they all have
Oh,
this.
hold on. You're telling me if they're older than 3, they can't compete.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
But there is a definite cutoff date in all the race
Oh, this is
horses.
like basketball back in
Yeah, all the
the. Okay.
it's like the draft. They all have the same birthday.
That's crazy. Interesting. And you want them to be the oldest, probably, right? You want to really push it up to the
Yeah,
very last day so they can be a little bigger
but
and a little
but
stronger.
but you can't run the Derby or you can't run any of the Triple Crown races unless you're a 3-year-old.
No way. That's fascinating.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, at least I'm learning something new every day. Especially here on Good Guy Sports, we can definitely take away from that.
yeah.
That's for sure.
Now,
So what
oh,
makes
sorry.
what makes the Derby special is it's the first race that it's at a mile and a quarter. All
Okay.
the other races, the three races, Arkansas, the Florida, and Santa Anita Derbies are all a mile and an eighth.
Oh, it's a
So
little further.
that extra eighth, and makes a difference because of
In other
stamina.
words, yeah, okay. In other words, you'll see some that you might think are going to win, and they're
Yeah,
using the eighth, and then they can't
yeah,
finish the last eight.
that's right. So
Okay.
a speed horse isn't necessarily going
Hmm,
to win if he doesn't have the
interesting.
stamina.
Okay.
But
Wow.
also you have to so you also have to look at the pole positions as well because you don't
So,
want your horse so the sweet spot is positions 5 through 10,
and that's where So Happy is.
and that's so happy is in right in the middle of there.
I wonder if that means I love that. I probably don't have this, but like the size, maybe the strongest, thickest horse isn't made for this race. Maybe it's a little skinnier, a little marathon runner size horse that
Yeah.
likes this kind of race.
Well, I mean,
Lasts a little longer.
yeah. Um,
So I think for me, a few fit horses to thick horses for me, for example. So the Bob Baffert horse at the 14th slot, Horn Pontini, in the 14th slot
Hmm.
is a perfect example where he does come off slow starts and has yet to come up top for his finishes in one of the races that he goes up against, but this is gonna be a tall task, a very strong field of horses in this race compared to the last races that he competed in. But even though, let's not forget the greatest Hall of Famer Bob Baffert has yet to win it, has yet to win a Derby since he last won it back in 2019, the last time he won it, way before but Medino Spirit disqualified him back in 2021 the last time around. So ever since then he has yet to win one, but it's going to be a long shot. But also one of the few races that one of the horses that will not be competing that he will not be competing this year would be Cherokee Nation, who felt who came very close, closing the gap, but was way but coming off the start in one of the slots off the gap, he was way behind. So that that does not make him to the field to the Kentucky Derby. But Pornina, there are times that he came off he came off very slow starts. I think I think for me, I say he's got a shot, but it's going to be very tough and difficult to be catching the field of all those 24 horses in the field. But it could happen. But it's just going to be
Max, let me ask you this.
but it's just going to be a very tall task for it to happen.
Let me ask you this: have you guys picked your winners yet, or how do they do it in the Kentucky Derby? You pick the trifecta or something. You pick the first, second, and third in the correct order, and you get paid out a handsome sum. Is that what it's called? The trifecta?
The trifecta. I mean, there's all sorts of bets that you can make. The traditional win, place, and show bets, the exacta, the trifecta.
Exactly. Okay.
And, so they have it. They have it all.
Okay.
They want your money.
They want your money. So have you guys picked have we picked who's gonna win? Have you guys picked who's gonna win yet?
I have.
Who did you
Not
pick,
yet.
Mike?
Well, I've been struggling, particularly with the recent scratches.
Oh.
And that makes Further Ado in a better position than he was in before.
Okay.
And he would be hard to pick against, particularly, I mean, how he smoked the field in the Bluegrass Stakes.
You said he won by how many lengths?
11.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
He's rated as probably one of the better front runner horses, and he's rated as the second. There's a speed figure that the guy from Washington Post figured out 5 decades ago, called the Bresnet speed figure.
Uh-huh.
And it factors in the different tracks the horses played in and the conditions, and then the final times. Further Ado is rated the second fastest horse in the Derby.
Good gosh.
And
Are you worried about his endurance? Is that your only fear?
well, I really don't have a fear. It's just his pole position is still not the best. I have Further Ado coming in second.
Oh, being beaten by.
So happy.
Let's go. That's who I was gonna pick. Let's go.
So
Now, wow.
happy.
Why are you picking So Happy?
Well,
won.
he won the Santa Anita by 2 3/4 lengths, and the way he came in from the final turn at the Santa Anita was pretty awesome. He is being ridden by Mike Smith, the Hall of Fame jockey, who is seeking his third Derby win, and
wow.
his trainer, Mark Glatt, will be making his Derby debut, and a sad side note. His wife passed away in February, and so I
Kind of
gotta be
something to ride for. Yeah.
be pulling for him. But the
Yeah.
fact that he is he's got an experienced jockey that's ridden So Happy before.
Mm.
Um, I I just have a feeling that so that's my exacta pick. So Happy and Further Ado.
Oh, so the exact you got to get the exact order of one and two, or
Yeah.
can it go either way?
No, you would box them, meaning you would buy two tickets
Okay.
in reverse the order.
Ah. Wherever I'm going tomorrow, Mike, I've got to take a lot of fives, so I might be doing some of this stuff tomorrow. I might be sending you a text message tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Going to a derby party.
Ah, excellent. Excellent.
Have they
Man,
ever had a horse named Mitula in the derby?
mm.
No,
And
not this year.
okay.
But
well,
Jackson,
well,
what's your
Blake.
pick, man?
Well, first of all, let me just say this. I wish I was going to a derby party like Blake Lumberger is, but I'm most likely going to be watching it on the couch with my parents on the
That's the
TV anyway,
best. That's the best.
which it is. So yes, definitely yeah, you're right. It is Blake. Definitely a smart choice for me to make. But before I get into that, I will point out that Bob Baffert last won the Derby back in 2020 with Otto Mentic and Justified 2018, Pharaoh in 2015, and American in 2002, and Real Quiet in 98, and Sober Charm in 97 was the last time he won the Derby. So he's won it
six
six
times.
times in a row. Yes, and so for me, who I have winning the Derby this year, I am going to be going with Commitment in the
Me
sixth spot.
me commandment.
Commitment, yes, I am taking Commitment to win the Derby.
Yeah.
Who's trained by Brad Cox? There's something special about him, and I think that Brad Cox, who's won the Derby before, a few times. He's won on
Yeah.
Kentucky Bluegrass. He knows how to get it done. One
So
of the
you're
best
not yeah, so you're
trainers
not
I know around. Yeah.
yeah. You're not concerned that the jockey that's going to be riding him tomorrow has never ridden him before?
Ooh.
Well,
Ooh.
that's going to be a tall task for us in the sports betting market. But at least
Jackson, you're picking the Raiders to win the Super Bowl. You're picking Mendoza to take the Raiders to the Super Bowl, baby.
what does this mean? I'm crazy or what?
No, you're not crazy. But anyway, and there's another scuttlebutt I read about Commandment is he has a tendency to fade
Oh.
in the later part of the races.
So look to him to be out front in the beginning, possibly. Fall
Well,
asleep.
he did win the Florida Derby, but he only won it by a nose. The Puma came in second in the Florida Derby.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. So yeah, you do. Yes, you do have a jockey that has zero experience before. I get all that, but what you should know is that you have Brad Cox, who has
Yeah.
experience at Churchill Downs and in state of Kentucky, and he is a University of Kentucky graduate who knows everything about the bluegrass rate of what has to offer. He knows how to, he's won the Derby before. He knows how to get it done. I get all that, and yet
Yeah.
you have a jockey that has no experience at all. Going to be his tall task to even try to even make it happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of it's going to be a lot's going to have to happen if he wants to get on top of the leaderboard and be in the at the winner's circle for the Triple Crown for the Run of the Roses.
Yeah.
But 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 they but you can see Brad Cox has mystified Derby winners. Not
Yeah.
alone who won the Roses in 2021. That was disqualified by Bob Baffert trainer that year, as I mentioned. So and he's a daughter of 2013 Derby winner. That's something that you should really know about Commitment. Who's running in this year's field of the race that he has that Luce Caveville replacement that that he is considered as the replacement, which means the other jockey has been injured and was, from what I can understand, just fell off the horse very quickly in one of the last races that he ran from what I can understand. So that's going to be a tall task
Yeah.
and really a an experience kind of challenge for him in this Derby on the first Saturday of May. So definitely a red flag for him, but at least something.
Yeah.
But at least with the cabinet in mind, there is going to be something very special, even though there's going to be some storylines which are always in Derby. But at least,
If
but at least a long shot would would be the betting
Yeah.
sportsbook's long shot for me at this point.
Yeah.
For
Another
horse.
Brad Cox horse you might consider betting on, Jackson, would be Further Ado.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I might have to change my pick and make that my winner. So there you go. Further ado, it is. He, yeah.
And
So
he's got and Further Ado is being ridden by another Hall of Fame jockey, John Velazquez.
yeah, this is going to be Joshua was just the biggest moment and the biggest stage that he has yet to earn, and I have yet to see it on Derby Saturday. But at least he's got at least a slight shot at it.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't rule out for sure. No question about it.
Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this. So, based on what you guys are talking about, there's never been a horse to win the Derby more than 2 times, more than once, right? If you got to be three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be correct.
Wow, interesting.
I mean, think about it.
Oh,
It is by
Liz,
far
though.
it is by far the hardest sport to repeat in all of horse racing, especially the Kentucky Derby. So in all the
Impossible.
other
Some
sports,
would say impossible.
right?
Now, the lineage of these horses that have won, they breed these. So a lot of these horses come from some of the horses from the past, correct?
Yeah, a lot of them are
Mhm.
sired by other winners of not only the Derby but the Preakness or the Belmont Stakes.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
If in case you don't know what the Preakness is, um, it is by far the Triple Crown
Where's
race that ends the season every single year in horse racing. So that takes place right outside
Jackson?
of San Diego.
I was just gonna say, let's play Stomp Jackson, and I knew you would know where it was. It's in San Diego.
Well,
Okay. All right.
I didn't need you, so
And give me the
got it in
surface.
the surface.
Give me the surface. What does it run on? Grass, dirt, or what is the Derby run on?
The Derby runs
Dirt.
on dirt,
Dirt. Okay.
and
Some run on grass, I
so
believe.
does the Preakness Stake. They also run on dirt.
Okay.
And the Belmont Stakes is run on dirt.
Okay, they're all run on dirt. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just like race cars, they all make left turns.
Yeah, wait, let's all right. Wow, interesting. That is interesting. Okay. I saw a video of a guy taking his horse up to a car and telling the horse that there's 500 of you in here, and I don't know how they do it either. All right, guys. Jack, Mike, y'all got anything else? I might have to jump off here.
Well,
All right.
last few words. Enjoy Derby weekend.
Oh, baby.
Enjoy the Kentucky Oaks tonight. And enjoy Derby Saturday, which is going to be a very long day. Soak it in. Enjoy it. Relive any moment. Enjoy the Derby party, no matter where it is you're watching or where you're going to be tuning in. I
got the hat.
myself will be watching it, as I said, we'll be watching it with my mom and dad in the couch here at
Love
home,
it.
and
Right.
and everybody else will probably watch it. We'll probably be having a Derby party or watching it in their homes. That's probably where they'll be most likely watching it. That's where I will be. So, it's going to be a very long day of Derby, of horse racing, and the festivities, the experience, the fun, the food, the fashion, the celebrities. They always show up every year, and
And juleps,
Riders up
Jackson.
and juleps and Kentucky bourbon and the food it has to offer, all of that great stuff. That's right. That's right.
Riders up.
That's right. That's what. Yeah, that's right, Mike. That's what
What's-
makes this.
What's
Riders
Riders
up?
Up?
What makes
Riders
this,
up.
What makes this horse race very special because of how big of an event it is, and how makes it very special. It's really I think the biggest because this is not the biggest horse
Is
race
Riders Up the
of the
same
year.
as Hook 'em Horns? Is that the same as like Hook 'em
No,
Horns?
riders up is what they say when they're in the pavilion.
Oh.
And the jockey that tells the jockeys to get on the horse and take them out to the track and let's start this race.
Oh,
So they
okay.
always have some celebrity saying riders up.
like
okay.
last year
Let's
it was
go.
it was Martha Stewart the year before. I'm sorry, last year it was Simone Biles from the USA Gymnastics Olympics team.
You're
But
right.
the year before, but last year it was Martha Stewart. This year, it's yet to be determined. It will be a surprise,
Ooh.
but yet to be determined to be determined tomorrow when I see it on TV tomorrow. Until I see it, but yeah,
Game
yes.
time decision, like
That's
the
right.
Panthers quarterback week to
that's
week.
right.
Game
That's
time
right.
decision.
That's right. But yeah, that's yet to be determined tomorrow. But I will know more once I watch it on the TV. But yes, it should be a very exciting long day of the 152nd Kentucky Derby all day on Saturday. Should be a very very exciting and fun to watch.
That's right.
That I'm looking forward to for what's for what should be in store for tomorrow.
That's right. All right, guys. Good talking to y'all.
All right, good
Good talking to you,
y'all.
Guy. I'm Jackson.
Enjoy.
I'm Jackson Gerke. I'm Jackson Gerke. We will be back next week for our regular show with Blake Gerke. Will be back. He was off this week, but Blake Gerke will be back with us, and he will preview the Stanley Cup playoffs and NBA playoffs together. We will talk all about that. But in the meantime, enjoy the Derby. We will talk to you guys later. We'll see you guys next week, and we'll talk to you soon, everybody. Have a great weekend.
All right. See you
Bye.
guys.
Bye.